Okay, everyone, we're going to try this again. And this is Terry, and welcome to my channel. And I'm up here just marveling at my foul tree that I showed you in a previous video, my DIY. And I'm doing my POO, my poo, which is power of observation. And I noticed this repotted Phalaenopsis that I don't want to lose is floppy leaves, which is indicative of overwatering and also could be a sign of too little water. But in this case, because it is sitting in water, that's the culprit. I am going to dump it out. Now, newly repotted plants, phals in general, depending on the media, can withstand extra moisture following an immediate repot, but they don't want to sit in water. They want some drainage, and this is just lovelier every day. I can see why it has gotten such notoriety and is named after Raymond Burr. But I did notice that in that one flower that I pointed to, it's got more of a cluster in that patterning rather than the others that are equally distributed. But it is still very pleasing, and despite that, Raymond Burr would definitely be most proud. But what I really wanted to show you was, despite the storms that we got last night, my bike blew over, but these plants that I put in the tree, which is what I was going to show you, because I think they look neat, they were not touched because they were hung properly and securely. They're in a south-facing exposure, but they are mounted on the north side of the branch, so they get protection. Rather than facing the sun, they are getting indirect sun, but still enough sun. And usually that's morning and a little bit during the afternoon. Now, here is a plant that I've had for a while, and I've always had to deal with mealybugs in specific and some scale, but the mealybugs do love the new foliage that's tender coming on the plant, as what it is doing now. That is my EPLC Butterfly Kisses Mendenhall. And it bloomed last year, gave me, I think it was 3 spikes or 4, one of them blasted. And this year it's giving me more. And there's a one that is in sheath. These usually put up their growths in the spring, summer, and then once they're mature, you will start to see them push forward their spikes in the fall. And that is a sheath, even though these are bifoliate. So there's one spike, and I know there's one there. And I know there's one more around the plant. Getting good sun, good air movement, and adequate shade from the hottest part of the day. EPLC Butterfly Kisses Mendenhall is the clonal name or variety, whatever. Call it the clonal name. The in parentheses name. Okie doke. And moving down, I have more mounted or hanging in the tree. There's my Cattleya Forbesii, which is a little higher up and gets more sun. There's new growths coming up around the plant. This has bloomed for me. It just finished blooming maybe a month ago or 2 weeks ago. And it's got the new growths coming up, doing well. Down below here is my newest orchid, my Pseudophilicornu. That's an Angraecum species, and it doesn't look so good. I just mounted it on top of another piece of cork. This is my BC Little Stars that I got from Windy Hill Nursery around the spring shows, and mounted it on this tree fern pole and the roots, and it's giving me 3 new growths, and the roots are red tipped and green tipped. Root tips are getting near that tree fern, yay. And this is one that I thought I had lost. This is a prized Nodosa, adorable clone. So it's a Bill Toms. This is another Brassavola. That's my green bird, I think. Perhaps. perhaps, BC greenbird, that bloomed in the winter. And here in the basket is my Encyclia tampensis alba. Didn't bloom for me in the winter, but it is giving me new growths. That nice blush tone. There's a trichocentrum getting good light, and here in the middle of the tree is my BC North Miami. Again, getting some good light and good shade and protection from the midday heat of the sun, as is this Encyclia, although it is getting a little more sun. This has been mounted. These are two Encyclias, two different ones that have been mounted on their bare root basically since the winter, and they are both giving me growths. And this is a Angraecum species, newly to my collection not long ago, maybe last week. That's Angraecum price stands. And then I also have a couple of Stanhopea types, which appreciate the shade and the copious amounts of water that they like while they are growing. And that was Gongora gratulabunda. And then over here I have a Stanhopea candida that has numerous growths. The Gongora actually likes it less free-flowing as far as the water, but Stanhopeas, when they're in growth, they want watered every time you look at them. And here up above is a Roger plant. This is Dendrobium frederixianum, which is a species, I believe it's from Asia, maybe Thailand. Blooms beautiful yellow, sometimes little orange in them. They're fragrant and can bloom off of short or medium-sized inflorescence with numerous flowers. And that's it. So I'm going to end with just a little tour of Bruce's garden, since it's so beautiful and the colors are amazing this time of year, and middle to end of July, and I noticed looking over here that he's got that variegated vine that looks really nice, and down below here is my Tenaru hosta that has really tall inflorescence, those spikes that produce those flowers that are fragrant. And I'm loving the daturas as well, they bloom in the evening, as well as his ice plants, the Delospermums that are blooming, the Rudbeckias, the Phloxes, and the hardy hibiscus with the flowers that are as big as a plate. There's a white one with a red center, and then the tiger lilies, amazing, with those bulblets up and down the stem that are each a particular plant. And then you continue to walk on back, and you just see the burst of color, the orange, and then the Rudbeckia, the Monarda, the red, the pink of the phlox and the Monarda, all backed by his huge banana trees that are reaching towards the sky, providing some stability and structure. And moving on down, there's more tiger lilies and Monarda phlox, and some sunflowers popped in there, and some hollyhocks and grasses. But anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. So there's that celosia looking very brilliant. More phlox in there, and you see that bee just enjoying those flowers. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your orchid.